Hello. How is everybody? Oh, goodness gracious. I'm back. I'm back. I thought we would do a little fussy cutting. I gotta have a little something. I thought we would go ahead and cut out some things and chit chat for a minute, I'm going to cut out these. Thought I had another one. Let me look. I'm sorry. Not prepared. I do have some of these stars. They look so glittery, don't they? But, yeah, I already had some I thought that was cut. But maybe not. It's okay. Yeah. Alright. And I think that might be all on the fussy cutting. I don't know. We may do this too, because I want to cut just the snowman out. And I know, like, in my journal, he would be ginormous, but I still may trim him a little bit. You never know. You never know. So, I hope everybody's having a good Thanksgiving. I had one Thanksgiving today. I bailed on the one now. That's where my husband and the kiddos went. And then I have one tomorrow. So I thought, well, while I'm at home, I will, home alone at that, I will just cut these out. I think what I'm going to do is cut the arms off, and then I can always just draw those in if need to be, because I'm going to fussy cut, but and I'm going to try not to be so fussy while I'm doing it. Because y'all know me, this is not my forte. But I thought, while it's quiet, I would just sit and chat with y'all. This whole YouTube experience has been something else. See. Okay. I have been trying to, first and foremost, I started out, let's just do a little, hey, this is Bridget type of situation. We're the ones that are maybe new here. I started out in the planner community. It's where I originally started my YouTube channel, which I didn't have very many followers because I didn't know what direction that I wanted to go in, because I've said it before, I am, I think, a jack of all trades and a master of none. I love all the things. Like, junk journaling is not my only niche. Like, I love other things. I love to create art. I love to plan. I love to journal. Like, I love all the things. And so I had a hard time figuring out I think this has to be cut. I had a hard time figuring out what was my niche. What did I want to do? Like, what did I want my channel to be about and things of that nature. I'm still kind of unclear. I enjoy the junk journaling and all the things, like, makes my little heart happy. I am also a planner, and when I say planner, meaning I am a stay-at-home mother who homeschools her children, who does not like to get out into the wild. Like, I'm a homebody, and by choice. Like, we love to be home and doing our own thing, and everything. Anyways, so what is there to plan? Dishes, laundry, sweeping, mopping. Those are the things that I do. And so it kind of pushed me more into the creative daily type of journaling, even though I still notate those things. I clean today. I mean, even though I wash dishes every day, multiple times a day, I don't necessarily put that in my journal, but I also notate the mundane things that I do, because those are my days. And I have tons. I have more planner style stickers and things like that nature than I do like for a creative journal. But, and I want to use those up. Like, none of it was cheap, or it's things that I've made like on my Cricut or, whatever. But, I want to use those things. I want to be able to, so I still document those things in my journal from, time to time. I don't do it every time, but sometimes I do. But, having said that, here we are doing the YouTube thing, and I love it, and it gives me a sense of something outside of just being a mom and just being a wife and a stay-at-home, maid and, whatever. Not really a maid, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it gives me something that I look forward to every day, that I enjoy doing, that, not that I don't have a purpose. I do. I have a purpose for a lot of things in my life, but, YouTube has just been something that I can call mine. My kids are not involved. My husband's not involved. Like, it's mine. It belongs to me. And it's where I don't really want to throw these away, because this is good bits and pieces and stuff. I'm going to put them there, but I'll go through them. Because next month is, Scraps. It's item of the month from AJ's Inspired Life. She does item of the month, and she has invited us all along to participate. And it's mainly just she chooses an item of the month in order to help use her stash, and that's been my whole thing from the start. Is even before the YouTube, is this year has been designed basically just create and use your stuff. Just use it. And so, I'll link her channel below and you can go check it out. But next month, December, she has chosen Scraps. So those will be perfect for, next month. But anyways, back to me. I'm just kidding. I went on a rant in one video and I deleted it, and I was like, I literally sat there in the video like this, and I was talking the whole entire time, like not doing anything, not creating, not doing anything, just sitting there talking. And I was like, Bridget, you're not doing a podcast, although I could, because I have things to say. But, so I just cut all that out. It was insane to me. When I watched it back, I was like, Bridget, what are you doing? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But then, Allison, speaking of, she was like, Bridget, girl, you don't mute us over here. We don't allow that. You gonna talk? We want to hear. But that was pretty funny. I was laughing. But I went on this whole rant about how I did my whole furthered my education, I guess you would say. And because that my story is sometimes necessary in order for people to understand who I am. Because, I mean, that's just like everybody's testimony. You know what I'm saying? Like, your testimony is the things that you had to endure, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. But the things that you have endured and overcame is who you are today. And that's important, I feel like, for everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just a story of mine. It's my story. And some can relate and some can't, and that's okay. It's okay, because we're all on a path, and you know, praise God, we're all on different paths and stuff. And I'm glad that, you know, I don't have to live your life, and I'm glad that you don't have to live mine. And it's unique to us all, you know. But I will reiterate that story for you guys, because some of you may not care, and that's okay. Because we're just fussy cutting, and you can always put me in 2 times speed, or, you know, I don't know. I mean, you don't have to listen, you know, while I'm fussy cutting. At least I'm not griping, because this is not, talking to y'all is always fun. This, on the other hand, I mean, which this is not so bad. It's kind of just straight lines per se, but in a little while it'll be hairy, I guess. But anyways, I went to college straight out of high school, and I was a good student. Not straight A student, but I was a good student. I did what was necessary, but my grades were they were not easy. I'm not one of those that can just read a book and retain. I can't just sit in a classroom, a teacher up on a chalkboard, here's 3, you know, algebra problems, and take a test. Like, no. Like, I had to put in the work of studying. And if I write something down, I'm more apt to retain it. I remember things by color. So I was always the girl that her notes looked like the rainbow just spit up and vomited all over it, because I could remember spelling words, vocabulary words, definitions, timelines, all the things. I can remember those by color. And even when I was in college, I mean, you would think one would outgrow the colored pencils. The colored pens. We don't. We don't outgrow those things. They tend to become who we are, you know. I was always the kid that I'm going to skip these because I have a couple. I'm going to cut these. We're just going to go to something different, so you're not looking at stars for 2 hours. But these printables, by the way, are from the Digital Collage Club. Digital Collage Club. So I will make sure that I link all this in the description. After college, after high school, I went just to our local, one town over, technical college, or what's it called? It's not a university, it's just a community college. That's the word I was looking for. Oh my gosh, it was like 13th grade, because everybody but a handful of my high school, which, like I said, I live in a small town, and it was way smaller back then than it is now, but everybody went there. It was the closest college, you know. You either went to the tech college or you went to the community college. Like, those were our options. And so it was like, my high school friends, we just all met back up at the community college. Like, nothing changed. The only thing is we all drove there. I mean, like, and hung out all day long because there was, I don't know if y'all know, but usually freshmen around here anyways, we had hours in between classes. Like, we're not driving 30 to 45 minutes home. Didn't have to turn right around and be back, so we just hung out on campus all the time. It was a good time, but it was 13th grade. I mean, same thing that you dealt with in high school, we dealt with in college. A lot of times I sit into my friends' classes. Like, I sit through a whole semester of psychology and got not one credit for it because I had such a gap in between my schedules. It was insane. It was not for me. I did that for a little while. I don't know. I didn't graduate, I'll tell you that much. So, quit that. And I was like, okay, well, let's do a major change. Like, I don't even know why I'm here, but let's go over to the technical college. Let's see what those folks are doing over there. Okay, so I changed my major, business, I think it was. So I was just going to do like business admin, like just get me a job somewhere that I can pay my bills or whatever. So I went over there. Whew. Sitting at a daggone class for I don't know how many hours. Typing on a computer. They teach you how to use your fingers and how to save and copy and paste and Microsoft Word or something back in the day. I don't know. Before Google Docs is all I know. But anyways, I could not. It was boring. It was so boring. So I was like, you know what? Let's change this major again. So here I was. Went into, what did I do? I think I quit after that. Yeah, I quit. Just quit college altogether. I was like, forget this. And I was into photography. I had done photography for like 10 years. I did weddings and graduation photos, prom, sports, studio photography. I did a lot and was good at it. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And this is before everything turned digital. This was 35 millimeter. Like, you didn't know what pictures you were getting from the wedding until you got your film back like 3 days later. Like, it was insane. I couldn't imagine doing that nowadays. But anyways, but I enjoyed it. Did the whole photography for like 10 years or whatever. Got married, all that. Went back to school, to the tech school. I thought, okay, I'm going to go into nursing. Because that was the thing. Everybody was doing nursing, and it was just the new thing. I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do when I grew up. I just wanted to do something. So I went back to nursing. Well, it was all fine and dandy. Doing good. Loved anatomy and physiology. Aced that class. Like the medical terminology classes. Was acing those. Like, had my note cards with my color ink and then medical terms and definitions and all the things were bam, bam, bam. Good. Okay, got pregnant. Little did I know when I was pregnant with the twins that I didn't want to be down on the floor CPR and a dummy and drawing people's blood. Like, no thank you. I was like, nope, this is not for me. Absolutely not. So, quit that, which was inevitable anyways, because I had a really hard pregnancy, and that's for another topic, because we ain't crying on the internet, you know what I mean? We're not doing that here. But anyways, so, quit that, and then when the twins were, I don't know how old they were, 5, 6, something, I don't know. Went back to college, but this time I was a grown adult, working H&R Block, doing tax returns, loving that, blah, blah, blah. Decided to go to the local university. So, took out student loans, a lot of student loans. and got my associate's degree. During that time, my marriage had fell apart, blah, 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 divorced, moved out of town, back to my parents' home with the twins, blase, blase. Then I graduated, I stuck it out. I went through my whole associate's degree with all of that going on. It was a lot. And it's kind of all a blur if you really want to be honest about it. But I graduated with my associate's degree. Sorry, I'm concentrating on getting this without tearing his foot off. But graduated with my associate's degree. Walked the stage. Horrible. Because I was pregnant with Nova. And it was hot, and college graduation is nothing like a small town high school graduation when it's from a university. Like, this was a all day event. I'm talking about morning to wee hours of late afternoon. Like, it was insane. But the thing about that is, I got to do it with my dad. Me and my dad both went through our associates program together. We did it's an adult program because they worked around like your work schedule. It was from like 6 in the afternoon to 10 o'clock at night. And it gave you time, to get off work 5 o'clock, whatever, be at school at 6. So we did that. So that was a good memory to get to graduate with my dad. Then I went straight in with actually, before I even walked the stage with my associates, I was already taking my bachelor classes for my bachelor's. So, did all that, blah, blah, blah. Graduated with bachelor's. I was like, mail me that sucker. No, I'm not doing it again. Absolutely not. I'm not walking the stage. No. So then I went on to my master's straight from Mint. So I don't know if you know, but 4 years have already went by. So now I'm going into my 5th year. And I'm super proud of myself, making Dean's List, doing all the things, like I'm actually completing stuff, I'm not starting and stopping like I was when I was, fresh out of high school. And I was like, man, like I've been through some things, and I've matured, and I'm actually completing the things that I started, like pat on the back. So I'm not going to, time break. I'm not going to cut these little elves out because I don't really do Christmas anyways, but these are creepy and they're just, yeah, we don't do that. Sorry if you like little elves in your journal, but I don't. They're going in the trash. Let me cut that because I don't know what that is. Okay, so here we are. We're doing the masters. Okay, during this program, let me preface this. This is where it gets a little crazy, okay? I don't even know if you're still here. If you are, God bless you. Through this whole associate's and bachelor's degree, the assignments were always the same. Like you do your work, assignments, whatever, your classes, your projects, your papers, and these are like 30 plus page research papers, like scholarly sources, APA format, like if you're college, you know what I'm saying? Like it's work. And then you got a family, and at this time 4 kids, and it was just a lot. But I did it, So went through, everything was due Sunday, 11:59. Everything's due that time. It was clockwork, did it 6 years. Okay? Associates, bachelors, and masters. Everything due 6 o'clock. Well, here we are. My final paper. Oh my gosh, I could taste it. Oh, it was just going to be so lovely. Master's degree, last paper, and I was like, oh my gosh, do I really keep going? Do I go and get my doctorate? Like, I'm loving school. I've always said if I could be anything in this world and make a living, it would be a career student. Like, I love to learn. That's why I say I am a jack of all trades and a master of none, because when I learn it, I move on. You know, like, I want to learn it, and I'm going to give it 110% and put everything I have into it, and then we're going to move on because we got to learn something else. But I was just like, I was really thinking, okay, do I take a break or do I just go on and get my doctorate? I mean, you know, like, we're already 6 years in. Like, what's another couple more years, you know, at this point? And so sleepless nights, you know, missing out on family functions and birthdays and holidays and everything, because I'm studying. I'm getting this paper done. It's the biggest paper of my, you know, college career, if you want to call it that. And like, it had to be, you know, I was going out with a bang. Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, I submitted the paper. Done all my revisions and blah, 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 proofread, everything. Got it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a couple hours early, you know, like, well, a few hours early because I did it in the afternoon. And I was like, I am so excited. Like, even if I fail this paper, I've passed the class. Like, I'm getting my master's. I'm so excited. Well, it wasn't too long after I submitted that paper till I get an email from my professor. Dear Miss blah, blah, you have turned in your paper. You've missed the deadline. Yes, I said deadline. The only paper in my 6-year career that was not due on a Sunday by 11:59 p.m. was due on the Saturday at 11:59. I was a whole daggum day late on this paper. I was fit to be died. I was like, oh my God. I mean, I was on it, doggone it. I am so sorry. How I missed this, I have no clue. What is the penalty? Like, do I need to redo the paper? Do I need to, I mean, how many points are fixing to be deducted? Or, you know, he's like, no, you failed the whole class. I was like, excuse me? The whole entire class for one paper being late? Like, you can't deduct, even if he deducted 50 points for it being late, I still would have passed the class because my grade was good. And he was like, no, you have to retake the whole entire class. Excuse me? I said, absolutely not. I am. This is my last class to graduate. Absolutely not. I understand human error has consequences. I take full responsibility for that. But I feel like the punishment is too harsh. Like, I did the work. I proved that the material that was given and the assignment that was given, I executed that. I understand that I was late on the timeline. Should there be consequences of that? Absolutely. Deduct some points. Or make me do extra work. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, but fail the whole entire class? The whole entire class? That's not acceptable punishment for me. So we didn't argue, but there was emails exchanged. We're just going to leave that there. And he was like, no. I was like, this cannot be real. This cannot be happening. Do you know how much a master's degree is? Okay. It's a lot. It's a whole dang lot. And, so, that one class, I'll just put it in perspective. That one class was over $3,000 just for that first one. I mean, the last class. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. I went to the dean of students and I was like, look, I take full responsibility. I missed the fine print. Somewhere between not sleeping and not sleeping, I dropped the ball. I get it. But the whole class right here at graduation, like, this just can't be. And they were like, professor's discretion. So there was nothing that they were willing to do, that if the professor said that I did not complete the course, then I didn't complete the course. I'm like, but I did. I was just late on one assignment. Professor's discretion. So I went back to that professor and pled everything that I mean, other than giving my blood. Like, I probably would have if that would have solved it. But anyways, you get the point. Like, begged and pleaded. He was like, no. I was like, what? Well, then I was like, okay, I have all the assignments, like, they're saved. I've done all the work. I'll sign up for this stupid class again. And it's going to be submit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just resubmit the work. It's my original work. So I will just resubmit the work. Well, in order for student loans to pay for me to take said class, I have to pay out of pocket for the one that I failed. So I had to come up with a little over $3,000 for the class that I failed. Well, here I am, a mama of 4, unemployed at this time, barely scraping by financially. There's no way I could do it. And you're saying, well, Bridget, you had a college education. Why are you not working in the fields of your associates and your bachelor's? One, because I was a mama and of 4 kids. Okay, had I went and got a job, who's going to watch my babies? Who can afford childcare for 4 kids? Not I. And I am a firm believer that there is nothing wrong with childcare. Put them babies in childcare. But that was not an option for me. They were my kids. I was raising my babies, not somebody else. I didn't pawn my kids off on my mom or my in-laws or anything like that. And I'll tell you how dedicated I was to them babies and my schoolwork is Crimson was a baby and Nova. And when I had Crimson before I had school. So when I was pregnant with Nova during my associate's degree, when I had her, I had planned the C-section so I wouldn't miss school. Well, that worked out fine and dandy, even though she was emergency. But anyways, my dad owns an RV. And so we would load my mom, the twins, Crimson and Nova up, and we would go to school in the RV. Mom would sit out in the parking lot and, like help Gage and Grace with their homework or, whatever, cook supper, or they would eat, the local Chick-fil-A or whatever was, nearby the college. But, and during my breaks of class, I would go out and nurse the babies. Well, so there was no childcare. I mean, my mom worked a full-time job, my dad full-time and going to school, and I mean, there's a lot in the details, you know what I'm saying, that I don't really want to put on the internet, but I mean, this is probably a little bit too much anyways. But had said that is, I feel like that was just dirty of the university to withhold my master's degree because of that one class. Could I have fought it? I don't know. I don't know what the next step would have been, but other than the dean of students. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I probably could have went a little higher, but I was just so defeated, and just, decisions were made, I think, out of anger, because I was so upset, like how I've gave this school thousands of dollars, through the student loans, that I'm responsible for, and I don't know, I just felt like at that point that I was nothing to that school but a number, and they did not look at it like I did as an accomplishment and something greater than just showing up for school. You know what I mean? Like, it was, I don't know. I really just took it personal. And, I have, fought with my mental health ever since the twins was born. That's where it all stems from. Because it was such a traumatic, I'm not going to say traumatic pregnancy, but the delivery was, yeah. But, so it was just a spiral of chaos in my life. And so here I am, all these years later with no master's degree, and it still is a touchy subject after all these years. And, I, for some reason, even though it was my fault, but then again, out of my control because the finances was not there. It would have literally, been another $6,000. Well, more than that, it was, $3,000 the first time, $3,000, $6,000 to retake it. So, I don't know. It was very traumatic. And, even though I'm okay and I've went on and done other things, but here I am, how old am I? 48 years old now. I don't use that bachelor's degree or none of it. So, I'm fussy cutting, for goodness sake, on the internet. But this is what makes me happy in this moment of my life, and I get to be home with my babies, and I love it. I love it. I've always said growing up that I would never have kids. Like, I love, like, it's an unreal kind of love that I have for my kids, all 4 of them. But, yeah, like, being a mama has been, like, the best and the most rewarding thing. Like, my twins, they're 22, they're out on their own, and, like, I beg them all the time, like, are you sure you don't want to come back home? Like, you can come back home. Save your money. There's no sense of being an adult at 22. Like, just come home, for goodness sakes. But they like their independence, and I get it, and I'm glad they're out there in this old world thriving and doing all the things, and it's a blessing to watch Crimson and Nova come into their own, because Gage and Grace, they're into the same thing. Like, Grace is very, very, like, book smart. Her reading level is ridiculous, and her reading comprehension, like, she speed reads. But she is very tomboyish, which is fine. We love that for her. So, but I hate that for her in a sense, because she works so hard. Like, she works circles around the men that she is around every day. Like, she puts them to shame, because she's got a good work ethic, and she's a hard worker. And so is my son. My son is extremely hard worker. He's always been that way. He's been working, like, hay fields and stuff like that since he was 4 or 5 years old. Like, he's got an extremely good work ethic, but it's made an old man out of him. He's He's 22, but my gosh, he snap, crackles, and pops like he's 40, 50, you know. But anyways, that's just a little bit about me and my college career, I guess you would say it. I don't know what it's called at that point. I mean, I feel like it was a career after 6 years of it, you know. And if I've never been a routine person, like never done the same thing twice in a day, but I did for 6 years going to school. Like that was my routine. Like, so yeah, that was a long tangent and rant. And see, ain't y'all glad I cut it out? I mean, because that's a lot. But anyways, I love doing YouTube. I love creating. I'm not so good at YouTube and the creating part, but I love it. I enjoy it, and it gives me a sense that, like I said, I have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like something for me. Oh, I got to get up. I got to film. You know, I got to film this video. I don't gotta, but you see what I'm saying? Like I want this video to go up, so therefore I have to film it for it to go up, type of situation. So when I say I have to, I am very, very aware that I don't have to do it. I choose to do it, but yeah. So here I am on the intrawebs talking to myself. I bet people think I'm crazy. I know, and I know that went serious like really fast, and I apologize for that because it was crazy, but it's what we do here, you know. We just talk to ourselves, but without talking to ourselves, because all of you guys are out there, and there is so many of you, handfuls of y'all, that have been so supportive of helping me on this journey. And I appreciate y'all been so supportive of, you know, just not only the follow, but the, you know, the conversing back and forth and communicating and, you know, doing all the things that I have just like, y'all are just my internet besties, you know? And, my grown children and the grown adults around me in my life, I'll say certain things and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you know, so-and-so from the internet that lives so-and-so that does this on the internet. Da, 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 da. And they're like, you are whack-a-doodle. But I get to share these moments with my younger children, and because they also are homeschooled and they have internet besties. I mean, like that they've been, you know, FaceTiming and, you know, talking on the internet for ever how long we've been homeschooling, because, you know, and, I mean, they have real life friends. Don't get that twisted, but they get the internet besties. Like, how can you just absolutely, you know, adore somebody and like think and respect somebody that you've never met in person is beyond me, but it's real, because I think the world of some of y'all. I think there's some that I feel like, you know, I've known you for my whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but I'm just a goofball. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's too many things. Excuse me. There's too many things in this life that we have to be serious about, you know? Creating in our daily journals and doing our YouTube channels and conversing back and forth, those don't have to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just lighthearted fun, cutting up, having somebody like that's rooting for you, that's in your corner, you know, is a change for me personally. But I don't know. I don't want to get sappy on the internet, but It does. It means a lot. And y'all know who you are. There's several of you, and I mean, I could call you by name, but you know who you are, that y'all have just been absolutely amazing. And it's just been great. It's just been great over here, you know? I mean, it's chaos. Is it chaos? Absolutely. It's like, thank God I don't have to play with fire on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I'll be blowing some stuff up over here. But we have chaos over here. Filming, filming mishaps and, you know, all the things. But what can we cut besides stars? Y'all, can y'all believe it? I have talked like I'm doing a podcast over here. However, I ain't been fussing a whole lot, you know, about the fussy cutting. I really did think I had another page of Christmas, though, that I wanted to do. I wish I knew where it was while I'm doing it. But I don't even know how long I've been on this internet. Let me look. Oh, gracious. 45 minutes yakking about my not master's degree. I know, it's crazy. When people ask me, like, did you go to college? I'm like, mm-hmm. Like, don't get me started again. But, and then we talk, and it's like, I want to say I have a bachelor's degree. You know what I mean? Because I did the work. I didn't get stupid just because I turned in an assignment late. Like, the knowledge is still there. Do you know what I mean? I still learned. I still put forth the work. I just don't have the piece of paper that says, hey, you did it. You know, the bill, it still comes every month. Sure does. For that darn thing. Ugh. But anyway, so I do have my associates. I have my bachelor's. And I don't know. Went through the master's program. I don't know what to say about that. But I got a hard-working husband. He's been off. Yesterday was his first day off in 14 days straight. And some of those days he went in like on second shift, come home 3 o'clock in the morning, take a shower, take a nap, and be right back up in there first shift. So he's been a trooper. And I think that's why my mental health was so bad, y'all. Because I'm not on a schedule, but I need my man to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I move according to how he moves. What would I say? Like, my mood is a reflection of his mood. Like, if he's in a crappy mood, well, I'm in a crappy mood because me and him's, you know what I'm saying, bumping heads. He's in a good mood, cutting up, yeehaw, and whatever. We're going to cut each other down and make jokes and, you know, whatever, all day long. When I don't know whether he's coming or going, and if he's ate, if he ain't ate, and I try, and he's like, no, don't cook me nothing. And I'm like, what you got to eat? I know, but no, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was a mess. My head said, time out. Go to bed for about a week. Until the madness is over. And it did. It physically and mentally took me out. I mean, you would think I was working. You know, he cuts me up. He cuts up all the time. Like, man, you got to get a job. He's not really being serious, but he was telling me how many hours he worked. I was like, daggone, you worked your 40 hours and mine. He didn't find that funny as I did. But hey, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, sucker. Oh, gosh. And I don't know. I don't know what he thinks about all this. I think it's great of y'all that have husbands that support you being in your craft room and you're buying you know, glue and, you know, stickers and all the things and the support. It's not that he doesn't support me. He just, like, an eyebrow goes up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? What is this? Like, I don't know. It's crazy. But anywho. But here we are. I'm fixing to get off here because I have yacked this whole hour. My goodness gracious. So, yeah. That's how I'm here. Somewhat. I mean, you know, that was a lot of detail, but trust me, I'll save you the details of it all because it was a ride, man. A ride. But here we are, and we're okay over here. We have some mental health, but we are fine over here. But anyways, so here's some fussy cutting videos. I know it was boring. I know, I'm aware. I was sitting through it too, y'all. But yeah. So there's the scoop. I don't know what you're supposed to talk about when you're fussy cutting. I don't know. I can't remember where I got these stars from. Do y'all know? Have you ever seen these? Was they on the Digital Collage Club? I don't know. I hope it wasn't from somebody and I ain't mentioning their name. I don't remember. I really don't. And I don't know how y'all keep up with it. My goodness gracious alive. Whew. Okay. Well, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to finish fussy cutting these stars out because, yeah, but I don't think y'all, I mean, how many stars do you need to see me cut? I don't know. But I will tag Allison's channel for the pure simple fact of the items of the month. Y'all go over there and check it out. It might be something that you're interested in and just using up your stash, you know. That's the thing. So, all right, guys, I'll get off here. Thanks for letting me rant. I don't know if you stayed this long, but if you did, put a heart in the comment just so I'll know that you stayed. And I will see y'all next time. Talk to y'all later. Bye.